All right, now we come to lesson number 3. Okay? So we are told that do not check if not necessary. Don't give unnecessary checks. A check that can easily be defended by the opponent is unnecessary. Okay, like this check. Queen to E2, check. Bishop can block and they can castle. Your queen is in front of your bishop. You'll have to move the queen or you have to untangle here. These pieces, they are in each other's way. This doesn't really help your position. In the opening, what are we supposed to do?
Develop pieces,
Castle.
set castle, connect roots.
Yes, so fight for the center, develop pieces, castle, and connect roots.
roots.
Yeah. So if you're giving unnecessary checks like this, because I see a check, I give check, it's unnecessary. Opponent just blocks and they're continuing their development. Number 2, the other tip. So do not open a position if you are late in development. So if you are behind in development, right, do not initiate contact with opponent's pieces. Remember, why I say opening is a race. Chess is a war game for squares, and we use an army of pieces, like what we discussed in what is chess, the very first video that we did, the very first lesson. Now, in that race, imagine you send 300, 3 pieces or 300 soldiers to the front. Okay, 300 soldiers are going to fight, and the opponent sends 200. All things being equal, the side with more pieces will win.
Obviously.
Okay, so when we develop, now we want to make contact with opponent's forces because all our soldiers are not at home. With most of the kids, the pieces that are not defended, these ones are sleeping. They're in their home barracks. So you don't want that. Once you develop all your pieces, then you initiate contact with opponent's pieces. So if you open a position when you are behind in development, it means you've got less attackers than the opponent. You cannot win. You cannot get an advantage for that. So don't open a position if you are late in development. Okay. So an open position favors the side with more pieces in the game. Therefore, only the player who has an advantage in development should produce an open position. Open up the position when you have got a lead in development. Now, we come to tactics, puzzles. I will demonstrate this one, and then you do 1, 2, 3. Okay, Max, welcome to lesson 3. So we're doing tactics, lesson 3. It's black to play and checkmate white in one move. Checks capture threats. It's a tactical position. So we count. With the queen, 1, 2. We've got 2, right?
Yeah.
This rook, no check.
No.
This other rook, no check. This knight, no check. This knight, 1, 2.
Yeah.
So queen, with the queen, 2. With the knight, 2. We've got 4 checks. Now we calculate to see what happens. If queen goes to f3, it's actually c6. Should be c6. Oh, this is c6, it's f3. If queen goes to f3, king will take. This is not good for us. If queen goes to g2, it's checkmate. So there's no need to calculate the other moves. Okay, now here is yours. White to play and checkmate black in one move. First, we have to identify how many checks we have. Okay? Can this bishop put the king in check?
No.
Why? Because this pawn is pinned. The
Yeah.
bishop could only put the king in check if the pawn is
pawn
moved.
could move.
But it's pinned.
Yeah.
This bishop the bishop is in dark squares, it cannot put the king on a the rook, how many checks?
2.
2. Okay, now we calculate to see what happens if we play those checks. If rook to g4, here, any of their rooks will block.
Yeah.
So rook to a5.
Checkmate.
Well done. Okay. Puzzle number 11. White to play and checkmate black in one move. Okay. So we look at our checks, our captures, and our threats. How many checks do we have with the queen?
No, no check.
0. Rook,
No.
rook,
No.
bishop, knight,
2.
2. Now we calculate to see what happens if you play any of those. If knight goes to c6,
The pawn can capture.
if knight goes to,
Checkmate.
okay, e7, d7, okay, checkmate, well done. Alright, now we come to the last one in lesson 3. And this one is a bit challenging. You've gotten used to checkmate in one of the easier ones. Okay, now we have to find the best move. Okay, again we're using tactics, checks, captures, threats. How many checks do we have in this position? With the queen?
No.
0. With the rook?
1.
1. So we calculate to see what happens if we play that check. Okay, if rook check, king moves out of danger.
Yes.
Okay, then you come back to checks, captures, threats. How many checks do we have in this position? With the queen?
1.
The queen can go to c3, check. The queen can go to g3, check. So you've got 2 checks. You calculate to see what happens. If queen goes to c3, the rook will take.
Yeah.
If queen goes to g3, maybe the king will move somewhere, or rook will block on g6.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is not good. So the checks are not really good. Captures. How many captures do you have in this position?
2.
2.
Yeah.
Queen can take bishop, can take queen, pawn can take pawn, rook can take knight.
Knight.
4 captures. Or am I missing something? Which one is the best? Queen can take bishop, queen can take queen, rook can take knight, pawn can take pawn. 4 captures.
Queen can take.
Okay, queen take queen is the best capture.